Upon joining the Mercedes F1 team in 2013, Lewis Hamilton experienced unprecedented success, clinching 6 world titles and securing 2 close second places within the next 8 years. This achievement was remarkable in a sport known for its unpredictability, even for the most skilled drivers. Despite being provided with a top-tier car by Mercedes during this period, Hamilton's faith in the team waned after 2 years of disappointment and questionable decisions. Consequently, the 7-time champion decided to switch to Ferrari for the 2025 season. Although Hamilton faces one more season with Mercedes, the outlook appears challenging. His start to the 2024 competitive racing season was less than stellar, securing only the 9th position on the grid at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Despite teammate George Russell's success in securing a spot on the second row, Hamilton defended his performance, attributing it to a setup focused on race pace rather than starting position. While Hamilton hinted at setup differences for his lower qualification, Russell refuted the claim, stating that the Mercedes cars were set up similarly, with his own being better suited to race conditions than Hamilton's for qualifying. The post-race results reflected this, with Russell finishing 5th and Hamilton 7th. Contrary to expectations, there was no evidence that Hamilton's setup provided an advantage in the race compared to Russell's. Despite Hamilton's unquestionable superiority over Russell in their 2 seasons as teammates, the vast experience gap between them is unsurprising. Hamilton, the most successful driver in F1 history, holds over a decade more experience racing Formula One cars. In 2022, although Russell outscored Hamilton, it was attributed to Hamilton experimenting with setups for half the season as Mercedes grappled with a problematic car. After the Bahrain Grand Prix, Russell appeared more content with the car than Hamilton, who highlighted numerous performance issues. George expressed frustration over the cooling issues that impacted their race time by at least 15 seconds. Without these problems, he believed he could have contended for a podium spot. The Formula One grid had moved to Saudi Arabia for the second race of the season, and Hamilton's dissatisfaction with the W15 persisted. During the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix practice, Hamilton described it as a challenging day. Having finished only 8th fastest and receiving a warning for impeding Logan Sargent, a near miss that incurred a fine for Mercedes, the 7-time champion and teammate George Russell experimented with various setups on the Mercedes W15 during the opening day of the second race weekend in 2024. In the practice 2 sessions, George secured the second position on the timesheet, which was led by Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso, with a gap of nearly half a second over a single lap. While it's cautioned not to read too much into practice times, the statements made by the drivers about the W15 after the first day in Saudi Arabia indicate Hamilton's dissatisfaction with Mercedes. Reflecting on Thursday, Hamilton expressed his struggles with confidence in the rear of the car and the overall setup. Despite making adjustments between sessions, he highlighted persistent issues with the rear end, leading to some significant moments during the high-speed portions of the track. Hamilton emphasized the importance of having full faith in the car, as any lack of confidence can cost precious tenths of a second per lap. Over the past 2 years, Mercedes drivers have struggled with trust in their cars, particularly under braking, affecting their ability to navigate corners effectively. The Jeddah Corniche circuit, the second fastest on the calendar after Monza, poses additional challenges with its high-speed sections featuring slight corners. Hamilton underscored the need for confidence when navigating these bends at speeds exceeding 200 miles per hour, especially given the concrete walls surrounding the track. If one lacks confidence and fears potential mishaps due to a lack of faith, resulting in an undesirable outcome, there's a natural tendency to withdraw, regardless of the driver's commitment to Formula One. Reflecting on Mick Schumacher's incident during Q2 in Saudi Arabia in 2022 serves as a stark reminder of the risks involved, discouraging a recurrence. Notably, Lewis Hamilton highlighted the contrasting comfort levels between himself and Russell by the day's end on Thursday. The evaluation of data is essential, but George expresses greater satisfaction with his car. The team explored different avenues in their pursuit of an optimal solution for the car, with a focus on achieving a stable rear for Hamilton's satisfaction. Hamilton faced challenges beyond rear instability, as the resurgence of unwelcome rear bouncing in Saudi Arabia frustrated him, albeit not reaching the severity experienced with Mercedes' porpoising underground effect regulations. Bahrain witnessed significant mechanical bouncing at the rear, persisting into Thursday's session in Saudi Arabia. Approximately 15 minutes into the initial session on Thursday, Hamilton urgently communicated over the team radio, emphasizing the need to address the rear bouncing issue promptly. He anticipates the team rectifying the problem overnight to restore confidence in the car's rear end. Unfortunately, Hamilton's situation was compounded by a critical team error that nearly resulted in a perilous incident with Logan Sargent's Williams. Driving cautiously through turn 11 to avoid interference with Carlos Sainz, Hamilton faced a near miss when Sargent approached at full qualifying speed. Sargent had to maneuver skillfully, navigating challenging curbs off the track to avert a potential collision. FIA race stewards, upon reviewing the evidence, concluded that failure to alert Hamilton to Sargent's fast approach was a significant lapse on Mercedes' part. Acknowledging the precarious nature of turn 11, where visibility is compromised after a series of high-speed corners, the stewards issued a warning to Hamilton and imposed a $15,000 fine on the team for their failure to provide timely communication about the oncoming threat. In a scenario like this, when a vehicle is rapidly approaching, it falls upon the team to caution their drivers. Pete Bonington, Lewis's race engineer, should have utilized the radio to instruct him to vacate the racing line and allow Sargent to pass. The failure to do so by Bonington is the root cause of the incident. Logan appeared genuinely distressed over the radio following the close call, and Carlos Sainz, following him, expressed his displeasure. Sainz conveyed on the team radio that Hamilton's actions were highly perilous, attributing Sargent's near crash to him. Despite encountering a challenging day marked by Hamilton's lack of confidence in his car, George seemed more content and settled. He refrained from significant complaints about the car, displaying greater confidence in his team's readiness for the competition. Reflecting on the sessions in Jeddah on Friday and Saturday, George enjoyed being back on the high-speed circuit. Despite a somewhat disorderly session, he acknowledged that the team hadn't optimized the car's performance. The lap times seemed promising, both in low and high fuel scenarios, although the team's exact standing remained uncertain. The strong performance of the Aston Martins was unexpected, necessitating overnight efforts to determine Mercedes' potential for the following day. The contrasting attitudes of the two drivers underscore the existing situation at Mercedes. Russell's optimism stems from his commitment to the team, recognizing this season as an opportunity to establish himself as the new leader before Hamilton's speculated move to Ferrari in 2025. In contrast, Hamilton appears frustrated and disheartened with his team and uncomfortable with the car. His lack of faith in both the team and the vehicle poses a challenge for this season, suggesting a possible shift in focus towards Ferrari rather than resolving current issues. The question arises, has Hamilton already moved on from Mercedes? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time.